In the small town of Abodo, there was a tradition that had been passed down for generations. According to this tradition, if an unmarried woman who has children dies, her children would be taken away from their father and given to her family. The father could only claim his children if he married the deceased mother. In the small town of Abodo, in the eastern part of Nigeria, there lived a man named Amadi. He was a well-respected member of the community, known for his hard work and dedication to his family. Amadi was a simple man who lived a simple life, but his life was about to change in ways he could never have imagined. Amadi was in love with a woman named Eunice. They had been together for many years and had two beautiful children together, a boy named Gabby and a girl named Jillian. However, they were not married as Eunice's family did not approve of Amadi. They believed that he was not good enough for their daughter and refused to give their blessings for the union. But Amadi and Eunice's love was strong and they were determined to be together. They had built a life together and were content with their small family. However, fate had other plans for them. Eunice fell pregnant with their third child, and they were both overjoyed at the news. However, the pregnancy was not an easy one. Eunice suffered from many complications and had to be on bed rest for the majority of her pregnancy. Amadi took care of her and their two children, working tirelessly to provide for his family. As the due date approached, Eunice's health deteriorated rapidly. Amadi rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late. Eunice had passed away during childbirth, leaving behind Amadi and their two children. Amadi was heartbroken. He had lost the love of his life, and now he was left to raise their two children alone. But little did he know, this was just the beginning of his troubles. In the small town of Abodo, there was a tradition that had been passed down for generations. According to this tradition, if an unmarried woman who has children dies, her children would be taken away from their father and given to her family. The father could only claim his children if he married the deceased mother. Amadi was shocked when he heard about this tradition. He could not believe that he would have to marry Eunice, even though she was no longer alive, in order to keep his children. He knew that Eunice's family would never allow this, but he was willing to fight for his children. He went to Eunice's family and begged them to let him keep his children. He promised to take care of them and give them a good life. But they were adamant. They insisted on following the tradition and refused to listen to Amadi's pleas. Amadi was heartbroken. He could not bear the thought of losing his children, but he also could not bring himself to marry a dead woman. He felt trapped and did not know what to do. As the days went by, Amadi's situation became the talk of the town. People pitied him, but they also whispered behind his back, wondering what he would do. Many suggested that he should just follow the tradition and marry Eunice, but Amadi could not bring himself to do it. He was torn between his love for Eunice and his love for his children. He knew that he had to make a decision soon, but he just could not bring himself to do it. One day, a wise old man from the neighboring village came to visit Amadi. He had heard about his plight and wanted to offer some advice. Amadi welcomed him with open arms and listened intently to what the old man had to say. The old man told Amadi about the history of the tradition. He explained that it was originally put in place to ensure that the children were taken care of in case the father was not able to provide for them. But over the years, the tradition had become more of a way for the family to hold on to their daughter's memory and to keep the children close to them. Amadi and his family tried to visit Eunice's family again to plead with them. This time they chased him, saying they never liked him and always warned Eunice against their relationship. Amadi's family became angry. They blamed him for bringing this calamity upon himself by not properly marrying the mother of his kids. They further suggested he leaves the kids, marry another woman and start a new family. Amadi's love for Eunice and his children was so much, he didn't want to give up. Amadi finally agreed. He had to undergo a traditional marriage ceremony with late Eunice. The marriage and the ceremony were held in a small traditional gathering with only close family and friends. As Amadi stood before the kinsmen, holding Eunice's picture in his hand, he couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. He was sad that he had lost the love of his life, but he was also grateful that he could now keep his children. The ceremony was short and simple, and soon Amadi was officially married to Eunice. He took his children home, and they started their new life together as a family. As the years went by, Amadi raised his children with all the love and care he could give. He made sure they had everything they needed and more. He told them stories about their mother and made sure that her memory lived on through them. The small town of Abodo was amazed at how Amadi had overcome such a difficult situation. They had never seen a man love his children so much and go to such lengths to keep them. Amadi's story became an inspiration to many. Years later, when Amadi's children were all grown up and had families of their own, they would often look back at their childhood and remember the love and sacrifice their father had made for them. They were proud of their father and grateful for everything he had done for them. Amadi's story spread far and wide, and he became known as the man who succumbed to tradition for the love of his children and respect for their mother. He had shown the world that a father's love knows no boundaries. However, this tradition has been much debated in recent times, especially with the involvement of the judiciary. Please drop your opinion about this tradition in the comment section. Thank you.